Okay, check, check. All right, I'm trying something different here. I will tell you in a second. Let's get this set up. Because look at this, guys. I have a monitor to check, so I don't have to look behind the camera to see what's happening. So this is going to be a whole new experience. We're going big and high tech now. So there we are. Boom. Now, the reason I am doing this monitor system, let me attach this to the phone real quick. Give me a second here. Uh, Hold on to your butt. There we go. Oh, it's so heavy, it's holding it up. I'll have to fix that. That looks like hell. Hang on here a second. Let's fix this. Will that hold it? Let me tighten this. Okay, that's decent enough. That's decent enough. Now you could hear me. Wow. Okay. So this is a whole lot better. You probably not seeing this, but I have a monitor system because when I would do lives, I would. Let me check one more thing here. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. So when I would do lives, I would do it front-facing camera. But then when you rewatch it, or even as you're viewing it live, it's the screen is mirrored, so everything is backwards. I don't know if it's in the latest YouTube update or what, but it didn't happen like that before up until recently. So YouTube needs to fix that. But anyway, so this is a fix for it. So I have a monitor attached to the thing. Yo, how you doing tonight, bro? Lance Smith. I'm doing good, man. How you doing? It's been a crazy and wild week, and hopefully things are chill with you. Hopefully you're having a great Friday night. I'm glad to be here live a little early than usual. A lot of times it's always midnight after I've done a million things throughout the day, and it's like, you know what? I should probably go live. Perfect timing to do so. Yeah, I don't do the fancy backward camera angle. Yeah, this is let me fix it. This is pissing me off a second. I know this makes for great video, but I like this more. The front facing camera, it's good, but very less quality. So this is the actual big camera, as if I'm holding the camera or the phone this way and I'm shooting that way instead of front facing. I think the front facing is like a 720p resolution compared to the 1080 or whatever or 4K that I'm getting with this. So hopefully this will be better, especially for playback, because I didn't want to have the screen mirrored, especially for what I'm doing here, because if I'm going to show all the soda bottles to you, it's going to be backwards, and it's like, what's the use? Why don't you keep your soda cold to preserve it? I don't have a big enough refrigerator, bro. So, yeah, and also, if you're gonna collect soda, there's really no need to refrigerate it, because regardless, I'll show you. Let me do a holiday spice here. Regardless, you put this in the refrigerator or not, these bottles will shrink and implode into themselves. It doesn't matter hot, cold, or in the middle, just over time. The only way you could keep these without sucking in is if you have some type of time traveling device to keep it always stored in 2004. Wouldn't that be wild? You have some like box, some refrigerator. You put your hand in, it's always in 2004. You just have it set at that. Instead of like a temperature at 37 degrees Fahrenheit, you have it set to 2004. That'd be. I think I just created a whole new movie or something. Won't the cold slow that down? No, not really. Not really. Uh, it may do something, but regardless, doesn't matter cold or hot or whatever. The only difference when it comes to temperature and soda collecting is usually like the soda cans I have on the other shelf. You can't see. You see it in a lot of the videos I do when I review stuff, but especially in this room when it gets hot during the summer. That's why I try to keep the AC on pretty early. Uh, Color change in the sun. Oh yeah, color change. You usually say, you know, you keep this out near a window. Particles forming? Yeah, particles will form too as well. I think from the plastics inside, the plastic may degrade a little bit and then, just give you little floaties. There's a sweet spot on anything to extend its preservation from Lance. Yes, there is a sweet spot, but you could only do it for so much. It'll slow it down, but it inevitably it's all gonna go the same way, hot, cold, or whatever. But like I was saying about the cans, if it's sitting in a hot room, the only thing with temperature, if it's in a hot room, they will tend to burst by themselves and leak. And that's what happened to me. I kick myself all the time. Back in 2017, before I even got into soda collecting, I always was fascinated by crazy flavors. But now I don't know what happened since, well, I could tell you what happened since 2020. What got me fast forward into collecting a lot of soda was I bought a couple cases of Pepsi Fire when they were getting discontinued, and I loved it. A lot of people really didn't like that flavor, but I loved Pepsi Fire. It was a cinnamon kind of like, it tasted like Big Red gum. If you ever had Big Red gum, it was like that in Pepsi form, basically. And I stored all the cases that I bought in a Rubbermaid bin. And yeah, it was great, Mike. I stored them all in the Rubbermaid bin and shoved them into the closet here in the room. And I just let it sit there for a while. And one day I decided to go in and I was just moving things around. I was like, oh, that's that Pepsi Fire. I'm going to have a can. Pull it, and I hear sloshing in the Rubbermaid bin. I'm like, fudge. Open it up. It's just a pool of Pepsi Fire with some wet, soggy cardboard and some cans now filled with air just floating above. And I'm like, oh, God. So, I mean, having those cans just sitting in the attic here in this closet, heat, they just burst. Oh, man, it was a nightmare. So I had to lug it downstairs and just dump it all out in the backyard and get the hose out and spray it all out. And it was such a waste. I kept all the cans that I could that weren't completely like bursted and molded. But man, I mean, that was my first epic tragedy in the tales and misadventures of soda collecting. I've known better since then, but still, I had kind of the same mishap with Pepsi Vanilla when I bought up the last of it at the supermarket before it was discontinued here in the area, like in 2019, 2020, something like that. I bought the last few cases, shoved it right here in the little holes, shoved it in the hole there, and let it sit there. And I thought, it's not in the closet where it's even more hotter. Maybe it'll live. And then one day I come in, it's leaking all over the floor. And I think that's when I shot a video on how to collect soda cans. I just did that impromptu just to like, show people, hey, this could be a problem. And that was another thing. Lance, did it taste like a cross between Dr. Pepper and Pepsi? Pepsi Fire or Pepsi Vanilla? I'm sure you're asking Pepsi Fire. Pepsi Fire just tasted like it was more just like a, think of the, I drank Fireball a handful of times, the alcohol drink. Uh and it kind of tasted like that, just yeah, Pepsi Fire, yes. It kind of tasted like that. It had a very cinnamon, but not very hot flavor. Like it wasn't spicy. It was just kind of had a little cinnamon kick, like a Red Hot. You ever had Red Hot candies? That's a better analogy or a better comparison. And it had the Pepsi like sweet cola taste with it, but it was only like 30% Pepsi and then like 70% red hot cinnamon flavor. And it was good, man. I loved it. It was like drinking candy. It was like liquid candy. I love cinnamon. So if you loved cinnamon, you'll definitely love it. I have hmm I'll show you. We'll go through the motions here. Um but first off, hey, how y'all doing? We got 4 people in the room. Yes! Ugh! Internet superstar right here. My niche little micro celebrity. I see those memes all the time on Instagram. Oh, I want to also surprise you here. We're going to do an impromptu cheat day review live. And I'm going to, I know, leave out all the mistakes and all that. It's going to be a little bit more wilder, and I'll probably repost it as an official cheat day review, but you guys will get the first exclusive access to a review I'm going to do right now. I'm going to get a drink of water here, and I'm going to clip you right here. Apologies if the audio is kind of bleh. Get a little drink, but how are you all doing tonight? It's Friday. The weekend is here. I got a few plans this weekend. Tomorrow, not so much of anything. I got to go to Kohl's. And that's about it. Gonna chill. And, wow, impromptu cheat day review. Woo! Yeah. Sunday, there is a birthday party for, I would say niece, but if I'm being real, a friend's daughter. So, got to go to that. And then besides that, everything is just kind of just hanging out, chilling. I got to work on. I'm working on 2 big, huge videos at the moment. One, I've already kind of teased about the Bissinger's Chocolate Factory. I interviewed the guy for like the owner, the CEO, the guy that runs. I interviewed him for like an hour and a half. So I'm in the process of chopping up the best parts of the interview because I will eventually release the whole raw interview, but I want to make it digestible for the viewer. You know, cut out all the fluff, all the mistakes, and kind of the questions that didn't go anywhere. Because that's how it is whenever you interview anybody. It's better to have more that you know you're going to cut out than less that you're going to have to cut out anyways for problems. So it's like, always know, like, say you do an hour and a half of an interview, just know that maybe 45 minutes of it will be used in the actual video. So I'm in the process of cutting and trimming and getting things like, you know, the hard-hitting questions going there. Shao Kahn. Yeah, nice regular with the live stream. How you doing, brother? Hope Outworld is treating you well. But all right, let's do this, guys. This is the impromptu cheat day review. And all right, so all this will be cut out, but you're going to see it first. All right, here we go. Get your game faces on. Stretch that back. Stretch the shoulders, all right? Oh, I'm kind of nervous, man. I don't know. The camera's pretty scary. What if they'll make fun of me? Oh, no. They're all going to make fun of me. They're going to go, oh, look at him. Cheat day review. All right. What is this thing, anyways? It's the Trader Joe's Dark Chocolate Lovers Chocolate Bar. Okay. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this fun and exciting cheat day review. As today we are trying Trader Joe's Dark Chocolate Lovers Chocolate Bar. And then what we'll do right after I do this, I'm going to hold up the chocolate bar, get the product right up in front center, and then you do some stupid face like Mr. Beast. Woo! Or if it's horrible, we'll, take a screenshot of me going. All right, so got that. We could use that as a thumbnail for later. So yes, I was at. Why am I like talking as if I'm presenting? I got to be real with you. All right. So, anyways, guys, so I found this at Trader Joe's, and they got all kinds of crazy flavors of chocolate. Okay, am I back? Hopefully, this is better. All right, so where were we? We're live once again. It looks like there are 3 people. Apologies here, guys. I've been trying this whole new thing. And, hang on, let me plug this in. Okay, are we better now? Can people hear this? Are people there? Hello? Hello, hello? 1 second. This stupid display thing that I was using is just completely crapped out. That's what I get for buying stuff from Temu. So that's, invest in something better. Yeah, I figured I'd try it out at least anyways. So let me get back on the live stream. So I'm going to use my laptop to read your guys' comments because no comment will be left behind here. Let me go to my actual page, view my channel. There is my soda collection live volume on this bad boy. Mute. Perfect radio, I know. Okay. I'll be able to type too. I'll be able to type people's. Bro, I think you're back. What time is it? Let's see. When is it? It's 11 o'clock here. So, Lance, there we are. Whoa, okay. So that is a far better monitor. All right. Okay. Well, I'm on like a 5-second delay on there. All right. Let me put on my hat. We are back, baby. We are so back. All right. Here's another review. This thing right here, the new Mawa phone monitor screen thing. Do not try this during live streams. It'll screw you up. Okay, so where were we? Hard cut back into the cheat day review. So here is the 85% cacao chocolate bar. Pretty thin right there. There are little cacao leaves, or it looks like some type of Hawaiian tropics deal happening with it. We're just going to break off a piece. I'll have this whole section right here. Right off the bat, it is crumbly. Not like milk chocolate. Milk chocolate kind of is a creamy thing, melts in your mouth. This is a very kind of crumbly kind of thing. Very bitter. Very bitter. But it's not anything that makes me go, oh, I do love me some dark chocolate, so I could handle it. There's a lot of grown people out there that are like babies, basically. Dark chocolate. I need my milk chocolate. I need sugar. Well, it's a far more bitter kind of chocolate than what I'm used to. Like, usually, what most companies will put in chocolate bars that are dark chocolate is like maybe a 60% dark chocolate or a 65% cacao kind of thing. This 85%, I think, is really hitting that mark for dark chocolate lovers. Especially with myself, this is really good. I would love to know what a 90 or a 95 or even 100% one. So I'll have to look into that, but this is pretty good. I've heard like the health benefits of dark chocolate is actually really good too. So, Lance, you love a good dark chocolate? Oh, me too, bro. That's why I love Mounds more than Almond Joy. Almond Joy is a milk chocolate bar with coconut. Mounds is more of a dark chocolate. Now, Mounds is still sweet with its dark chocolate, and it's not that crazy of a percentage of dark chocolate, but it's enough to give you that bite, that edge. But still, if they made a Mounds with like this amount of dark chocolate, this 85%, oh yeah, baby, that'd be amazing. Okay. So, as the box says here, smooth and fruity from the Tumaco region of Colombia. They aren't lying. I definitely do get a very nice fruity taste. Nothing sweet fruity. Don't get it twisted where it's like, oh, it's like Fruit Loops. No, it's got that authentic kind of real deal kind of taste, but it's not completely so bitter that you're gonna like want to spit it out or pour a bowl of sugar in your mouth to equate the bitterness or anything like that. This is like when you're hiking or something, you really do need a boost of something besides sugar that's just gonna gum up your insides. This will definitely be a good pick me up. It's smooth. It's crumbly at first bite, but it melts away as you chew it and gives you a very nice, deep, dark chocolate sensation. I like it on all accounts. Now, if you don't like dark chocolate, then you're not gonna like this. But for someone like me that loves dark chocolate, or if you like dark chocolate, this will definitely hit the spot perfectly. I would say an 85% cacao is the way to go too when it comes to dark chocolate. So, the dark chocolate lovers bar, it is exactly what it does specify. The texture is great, and yeah, all that stuff. So, I would give this a 10 out of 10 right off the mark. I would highly recommend it for someone that is wanting a dark chocolate bar that's really going to hit home. Oh, yeah, it's good. So there you guys go. The Trader Joe's Dark Chocolate Lovers Chocolate Bar. I give it a perfect 10 out of 10. It's good in its own right as a dark chocolate bar. And that is it for this cheat day review. Thank you guys for watching. I am DJ Glowing Ice. Always wanting to remind you that it is okay to cheat every once in a while. Sayonara. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. That's good. That's some good stuff. I'll be gnawing on the rest of the stream, I'm sure. Oh, so where were we here? Yeah, that slow melt. Chocolate in the 95%, Lance. That would be... Yeah, I need to try me some of that. Now, I got a video. Like I said, I've been making these bigger videos, been working on them. But my aim and my goal is to put out a video every day. I try to do that because it just seems to help the algorithm, even though sometimes it's like I'll put out a banger video and it won't really get that big. I just feel like when you do YouTube and you're trying to get somewhere, you do got to treat it like a job. No matter how you feel or whatever, you got to look at it as you're going in, you're punching your time clock, and you're doing it. Now, I'm not making it try to sound like, oh, I'm going in to shovel coal or mine, gold or anything like that, or like do any kind of like strenuous job. But it is something, sometimes you're just not in the mood for it, but you got to do it just because you want to. And it's like that though. At first, it's like with anything, working out, exercising, reading a book. 50% of it is just getting your ass in gear to just do it. And then once you get in the motions, you push yourself to get in the zone to do it. You're like, oh yeah, that's why I got into doing this in the first place. This is actually really fun. But it's just getting yourself there is half the battle, really. Oh man. So let's put that right there. Got some water. All right. Now I'm going to get you where you've been wanting, why you clicked on this video in the first place. I'm going to show you my collection, my soda collection. Like 35% of what I do have in my collection is all right here. And this is probably the creme de la creme, excuse me, part of the collection because I just love the bottles because they don't leak like soda cans do. And there is just far more crazier and wilder flavors that don't get canned, but they do get bottled. So let's get into that. I'm going to move my laptop a little bit to the side here. So, all right. I guess we'll work our way top shelf. No, let's do here first. Yeah. Top shelf would be like, I don't know. I don't have these in any exact order. Some of them are American releases, some of them are other releases, but anyways, and plus they're kind of scattered too. So I'm going to clip my lav mic right here on my little thing. And let's get to it. Something that I just love about collecting stuff is the fact that once you collect it and you have this stuff, you could always go back and look at it again. You just get this rush of going, yeah, this is cool to look at again. I don't know. It's weird. Maybe it's just me, but it feels like Christmas or something. When I go and I look at like some of my old Star Wars figures that I have collected in the box, I'll go in the old Rubbermaid bin, pull them all out, lift out the lid, look at it, and it just feels like it's my birthday or something. Like I just got a bunch of presents again. I'm just like reliving it over and over again. Maybe it's something I need to go to therapy for. No, what am I talking about? This is awesome. But okay, so we will start with, I got 2 bottles of this. This is Pepsi Holiday Spice. And this was a soda that was released Christmas time, holiday season of 2004 in the United States. And this one was like Pepsi Fire. If you do remember Pepsi Fire from 2017, it had a bit of a cinnamon, nutmeg kind of taste to it, but it wasn't as potent as like a Pepsi Fire. This one was just a very festive, really kind of smelled and kind of had that potpourri kind of smell and taste, but in a good way. It was like kind of a very warming cola kind of thing that was perfect. So yeah, so let's see here. You take a look. All right there, get a nice look. And if you see this sign right there, there is a Pepsi Cola sign that is now, I think it's displayed in one of the parks in New York City. It's not on that building anymore. I did a whole history on this drink, but whenever I do a history or documentary of stuff, I hold that information in my head like in lock. It's just locked in there until I finish the video and release it. And then it's just like RAM or a computer in my head so full of stuff that I need to delete files for new stuff. So as much as I would love to remember everything that I've even covered, I need to make room in my head for new stuff I'm learning. But yeah, so there's a paragraph on here and it reads, here, I'll hold up the bottle while I read this here. Pepsi Holiday Spice. Celebrate the season with family, friends, and new Pepsi Holiday Spice. It's a festive blend of holiday spices and great tasting Pepsi, but it's only around through the season. So this is one gift you'll want to open early and often. So Pepsi Holiday Spice, everybody. Lance, you're a bit of a collector too. What do you collect, bro? We'll move on here. Oh, yeah. So let me check the date on this one. Yeah, okay, so '07. Yeah, this came out during the summertime of 2007. This is Pepsi Ice Cucumber. It came out in Japan only, and it is exactly what you would think. It's like a cool cucumber kind of taste. I never really tried it, never got to. I'm not going to crack this open either because it wouldn't be fresh anyways. But Pepsi Ice Cucumber, definitely one of the coolest looking labels on there. It kind of has a vaporwave 1980s style look and just the ice shards in there. I love this is like one of my favorite Pepsi uh, graphic designs of a label. Plus it's green. I love it. It's cool. Scruffy Nerf Herder, what's up, brother? A veteran of the channel. Much like Lance. Glad to see you checking in, dude. Hopefully things are good and well with you. You made it to the holiday spice. I know this is definitely a weird one. I have this sitting in here, but this is a a Pepsi noodles. You're supposed to make noodles with this. I think this is supposed to taste. I can't translate this. There is no English on here, but this came with this bottle of Pepsi. It's a chicken or Pepsi Zero Lemon chicken kind of Pepsi. It doesn't taste like fried chicken, but it was made to cut through the grease. It would be a nice accompaniment to you drinking some or eating some fried chicken. And it came with this bag of noodles. And I guess you're supposed to make these noodles with the soda here and the chicken and eat it. I don't know. The Japanese are awesome though with their innovations. I will say that. I wish I lived in Japan so I could just try all this wild stuff. But this on its own, seeing fried chicken on a Pepsi label, it would make the average person think, "Oh, it's a fried chicken flavored Pepsi." Ew. So there is that. This came out, let's see, uh, early 2023. Let's just say that because the expiration date on here is June of 2023. So usually these limited time sodas have a 3-month window at the max before they discontinue it. So there's that. Move all that stuff around. Okay, next up, we've got your classic Pepsi Blue. I've talked about this a million times, much like I've talked about Crystal Pepsi. But I talk about it so much because it is that cool of a soda. It is Berry Cola Fusion. The flavor of it is just simply berry. And this came out August of 2002, and it lasted for roughly 2 years. It was discontinued in 2004 in America. But it lived on year after year in Asian countries and Europe and wherever else. It had sporadic releases all throughout. And I will show you another release of Pepsi Blue. This is the latest release of Pepsi Blue. Uh, Actually, this is Pepsi Blue from the Philippines, and it was released in these glass bottles for the summertime of 2023. No, 2022, I think. So this is the latest release. I haven't seen Pepsi Blue be released anywhere else since this one. So hopefully it has a resurgence somewhere in the world. But yeah, and here we go again. This is a Pepsi Blue can from one of the releases. I think this is an Indonesian release. Let me take a look at if I could read. Yeah, Indo Food. So yeah, this is from 2020. So a Pepsi Blue from 2020 from Indonesia. And I mean, this really isn't that big of a deal, but this is a Code Red Mountain Dew that I bought. And I bought it with the intentions of reviewing it for a cheat day review, but I just never got around to reviewing it. And it wound up, getting past its expiration date, and it's like, well, I'm gonna review it, but I need to buy a new bottle, a fresh bottle, to give it the justice and the respect that it deserves. I'm not gonna drink a flat soda to review. So I just take the sodas that I left expired and just chalk it up to being a part of the collection. So that's why it's sitting here. And this is kind of cool. It has a, what is this, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 label. So it kind of has, the crossover. That's what a lot of collectors like too, is if there's another crossover with something on it. So I don't know. And since Mountain Dew has kind of changed up their labeling, they don't have this MTN Dew label anymore. They have changed it to where it's actually spelled out Mountain Dew. It's new. They're rolling out the new ones now. So this labeling will be discontinued anyways. So collector's item now regardless. Oh wait, let's see here. Scruffy Nerf Herder. I'm not trying to jump ahead, but I seriously forgot about Pepsi Twist until I saw your bottle back there. That glass Pepsi Blue is wicked though. Oh hell yeah. I only seen one of these on eBay, and my buddy Maximus the Fourth saw it too, and he was like, "Hey, you plan on getting that?" I'm like, "Yeah," and he was like, "All right, dude." So I mean, we're buddies like that. He ain't gonna try to buy something before me. He'll always check in to see if I want it first or whatever. So he knows I'm a collector. So, uh, yeah. But this is the only one I've seen. But if I do come across another one, I'll buy it and send it to Maximus because I know he would love to drink one as well. Let's see here. Checking on the comments here. Lance Smith says, Pepsi Blue, I never tried that and don't even remember it, honestly. Well, Lance, you are in luck somewhat. I have two huge Rubbermaid bins full of the 2021 release of Pepsi Blue. I swear I have about 300 bottles of Pepsi Blue. It is insanity. So if you want to try one, I will mail I will mail a bottle to you. So just hit me up on the the email, yeah, privately, and I'll send you one at some point. So yeah, let's see. Check out more. Pepsi Blue was in the States. Yes, it was. I was a teenager when it came out, so it hit the demographic to me right away. New Metal, Papa Roach was in the commercials. Yeah, dude. Oh, man. Lance Smith says Code Red. Code Red was awesome. Michael Garberg, what are your thoughts on Pepsi banning artificial ingredients? I don't think Pepsi is banning it. I think it's because of RFK. I think that's his Robert Kennedy or whoever's like doing that where they're banning all the artificial colors or anything. But I think Pepsi's just abiding by that because obviously there's artificial coloring in almost all their stuff. So they kind of just have to say, okay, I guess we'll have to change it up. But how I feel about it is it's a weird point in history. This will be something we will be looking back on, being like, oh yeah, you remember that time when they had to take out, the artificial colors and all that? But I'm sure they'll find some way to make Code Red red, like they'll use beet juice or something. Yeah, so I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal, really, to be honest. Here is another bottle. This is Pepsi Zero, the non-lemon version of the Pepsi fried chicken release from Japan. And also, this is clear. So you could kind of say that this is Crystal Pepsi, but not really. It isn't Crystal Pepsi. It's just a clear version of a Pepsi that is a low calorie or 0 calorie thing that you eat with some greasy Japanese chicken. So this came out mid 2022, summer 2022. So there is that. And I got another bottle of it. So maybe at some point I'll crack this open and review it. Uh, I don't know. It would be kind of useless because I'll probably hate it because I hate zero sugar soda. Okay, let's move that out of the way. Yeah, my baby. My baby. This was like one of the first sodas I got really obsessed with when it came out. Like, this came out in 2007, I want to say. Yeah, August 6th, 07 is when this expired. But this came out during the summertime or springtime of '07 to kick in gear of the summer of '07. And boy, oh boy, the summer of '07, I was 21. Yes, it was definitely it was a good one. I did a lot of things that I can't say right now live on this live stream, but it was fun. So this was a limited edition flavor. It was a tropical fruit flavored Pepsi, and it tasted so good. It was awesome. It was only around, just for like 3 months. And this was inspired because at the time there was this uh, big boom of iPods and everybody making playlists of their favorite songs. Now, playlists of songs go back way beyond and before iPods and everything else. But, iPods made it a thing where you could put all your music library on shuffle and just like go through and, oh, there's that song. Oh, it's just like, roll the dice of whatever song that you have in your library playing next. And that was the big deal for the longest time. Like when that was during the time I was radio DJ, and that's when they were telling all the radio DJs to shut up and just keep the music rolling because they were like had this weird battle. And like stations were battling iPods. We gotta keep things fresh. Play something they don't expect. But it would be the same 40 songs that you hear anyways. Like it was such a joke. So we were told to shut up, keep the music going. So that's when I was like, I saw the writing on the wall. Radio stations ever since then have gone downhill. So I had to just start over, start fresh. And yeah, don't get into radio, kids. Especially if you're wanting to actually have a cool, creative, and fun radio show on the air. It's not gonna happen, not anymore. But anyways, yeah, that's where this comes from. Summer mix, a mix of tropical fruit flavors, and yeah, the labeling on here is classic mid 2000s style, where they tried to have this. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of like a '70s kind of vibe to it, like Gold Member, Austin Powers Gold Member, kind of look to it. I don't know. There was this style that happened during the mid 2000s that this envelopes it perfectly. Yeah, Lance, I got that dog in me. That's for sure. And the stories I could tell you, boy, oh boy. I'm sure you got some stories as well. Save that for another time. If I could put this damn cap back on my bottle of water, it'd be just fine. Okay. Oh man, this is another cool one. I had to hunt this down for ages, but I finally found it. And how I found this, it wasn't listed on eBay, but I saw a seller on eBay that was selling another rare Pepsi flavor. And I messaged them after I won that one from an auction and said, "What else do you got?" And they're like, "Well, I got Pepsi salty watermelon." And I was like, "Shut up and take my money." So I got this for like $60, and it was definitely worth it because this was also a limited edition crazy release. It's Pepsi that tastes like salty watermelon. And this one is also a summertime themed soda. So this came out during the summertime of 2012. And it says, "A refreshing taste of summer." And I just love this labeling because I love the beach. And I mean, they didn't, back away and shy away from putting as much imagery on that label. So you got the beach there, the salty watermelon that looks very animated, a little shine, the little ding right there on it. So Pepsi salty watermelon. Don't know if it tasted any good or not, but it's definitely a cool one. All right, this one is Pepsi Blue Hawaii, kind of much like the Pepsi Salty Watermelon with the labeling, but I looked forever for this one. This is kind of a newer addition to the collection. It's pineapple and lemon flavored Pepsi, so kind of nice summer vibe to it. And this came out in '08, so this was before Salty Watermelon. So '08, summertime of 2008. That was another great year, let me tell you. This one is Mountain Dew Real Sugar. Now, this has since then been discontinued, and oh my God, Michael, if you are still watching this, here are all the granules and bits within this soda. As you can see, that is real sugar that has now crystallized in there. Mmm, yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. So this was discontinued. A lot of people couldn't find this flavor, but the grocery store, no, the gas station down the street bought these a lot and had them in stock. So I only bought a few of them. I reviewed one, and this is the other one I bought that I just kept sealed and is always going to stay sealed as long as it's in my collection. So Mountain Dew Real Sugar. This is they discontinued it because I guess they were trying to make more flavors. So it's like one had to get cut. But man, this was such a good one. Okay, so what we got here is a 1 liter of Pepsi Blue. We've gone over Pepsi Blue, but here's a 1 liter version. And here is another 1 liter of Pepsi Blue. Thing's huge, dude. Scruffy Nerf Herder says he misses the real sugar, Mountain Dew, and Pepsi. Yeah, if there's one way to go, if that option of real sugar is there, I'm gonna go for that every single time because why wouldn't you? Yeah. Like, okay, here's kind of artificial soda, and here's real soda with real good stuff that's actually going to be refreshing and have a better quality taste. It's a no-brainer. Uh, Now, the real sugar Pepsi still exists, but it's under the Soda Shop logo now. So it has like the red, white, and blue in the old style. So don't get it twisted. A lot of people say it tastes different, but they're just, you know, it's just kind of a psychological thing. People see a different label and think it tastes differently. But yeah, so Pepsi Real Sugar still exists. But even that Soda Shop Pepsi is kind of hit and miss where you could find it. So good luck on that. Hopefully you can. This one, oh boy. This one, do I have some history for you here? This is new. It was new. Cherry Cola Slice. And Slice was a brand of soda that Pepsi had out for their fruit line of flavors. Before Starry, before Sierra Mist, before Storm, there was Slice Lemon Lime. Lemon Lime was the first flavor of Slice, and then they branched out into different flavors such as apple, mandarin orange, and this one, cherry cola. And about this is the grandfather, the ancestor of Wild Cherry Pepsi. Because before Cherry Pepsi or Wild Cherry Pepsi even existed, this is the first cherry cola product that Pepsi released under the Slice thing. And as Pepsi saw uh, cherry Coke coming out, they were like, let's reformulate this and release a cherry Pepsi. So then they released cherry Pepsi for the first time, like I want to say days, or I'm not sure. I did the history on it, but it was very soon before cherry Coke was going to be released. So Pepsi actually beat Coke to release cherry Pepsi first in Canada. And, they could say they beat them, but really, it wasn't in America up until a year or two later when this was discontinued and they finally put out Wild Cherry Pepsi in the States. And this still existed after Wild Cherry Pepsi was existing in the States, but it slowly got phased out because this really was a different product, but it still is the very first cherry cola Pepsi product. But yeah, 10% fruit juice, can't beat that. And I got this from Maximus the Fourth. This is a very, very rare soda. Like a bottle of this full, like I'm holding at least a $400 bottle of soda, if not more. Like you could sell this. I could drink this and sell the empty bottle for 300 bucks easily. So big shout out to Maximus the Fourth for sending this to me in one of the soda shipments he mailed to me. So cherry cola slice. One of the coveted biggest things in my collection right here. Oh, and Scruffy, yeah, you might have to, dude. Pepsi Soda Shop. I will show you the labeling if I could find it here. Because I have a bottle of it somewhere chilling. Can't find it right now. But let's move on here. Here is Pepsi White Cola. Now, this is another Japanese flavor. This came out early, or this was the holiday season of 2015, actually. This came out. If you can see, there are designs of a gingerbread man, a tree, there's some antlers of a reindeer, fireplace, stocking, a snowman there. And this was basically just a white Pepsi that had a citrus taste to it. So it wasn't anything too special, just Pepsi with a citrus taste, and there you go. But there is another Pepsi White that came out in Japan that is completely different than this one, which we will get to. Okay, so whoa, right here, we got ice. So this is an ice mint cola, and it came out. When is this one? There's a few different versions of Pepsi Ice, but it came out in Malaysia, and it came out side by side with Pepsi Fire. So when Pepsi Fire came out, there was Pepsi Ice that also came out. But Pepsi Ice didn't come out with the later release. There was only this release. It says Malaysia and then Guam. So between Malaysia and Guam, this came out. I want to say Guam probably, but yeah, I never tried this flavor. I'm never gonna crack this open and try it, but it has a very deep blue color to it. Probably even deeper than Pepsi Blue, to be honest. But this came out, I think, in 2006 or 2004. When I get into the history of Pepsi Ice and Pepsi Fire, I will do a deeper look into it. But yeah, I want to say 2006. So there is Pepsi Ice. And here we have yet another bottle of Pepsi Blue from 2002. And here, okay, yeah. All right, so let me get this one out too. This one, this one. I'm gonna have to clip this on to show you guys this here. All right, so this was like in 2023. Yeah, and this one doesn't have, I think this is 2022. Yeah, okay, so let's do this. In late 2022, there was a trade show, and Pepsi was going to re-release on a national scale Pepsi Peeps. And if you don't know what Peeps are these marshmallow, sugar-coated treats that are usually sold, mostly during Easter time. But yeah, Pepsi and Peeps got together and they decided to make a flavor. And it tasted like marshmallow. It was super sweet. I didn't mind this flavor. It was nothing too crazy, but it was good. But this is a trade show version of Pepsi Peeps. And how you could tell is that it has a white cap and the font here is white instead of the national release right here, which is blue. So totally different. And you can see right there, trade sample, not for retail sale. And this is just the regular national release. So this one is definitely more rare and yeah, just harder to find than your usual. You could go on eBay and buy a bottle of this for probably $7, but to find this version, the trade show version, definitely going to be harder to find. The label is thicker as well, and the national release is far thinner. But that is Pepsi Peeps. Got both versions here. And also, Pepsi Peeps was first released in can forms only through a sweepstakes. They were sweepstakes winner cans. And I guess people loved that so much that they're like, hey, let's release it on a national scale. So this trade show version is from late 2022, and this is when it was released in the spring of 2023 nationally here. So there you go. Okay. Oh, I forgot I even bought that. So this is Mountain Dew Voodoo. What was this, 5? Yeah, Voodoo 5. There's the full sugar version and the zero sugar version. If there is a zero sugar version of a soda, I will buy it just because of collecting purposes. So this is one of those instances. And I forgot what this even tastes like, but I think that I wasn't that big of a fan of it. Now that I think about it, this is probably a very sour candy flavor. I think this was supposed to be Sour Patch Kids flavor. They couldn't call it that, but that's what they're saying. They just called it sour gummy candy flavor. But Mountain Dew Voodoo, the whole line, they cut it off. Last year was the final year with Voodoo 6. And this year they're still going to do some kind of Halloween flavor. But it's going to be known right away because all the Voodoo flavors, they were mystery flavors. So the entire month of October, you would drink this and come to your own conclusion what you think. And after Halloween on November 1st, Pepsi Mountain Dew would announce what the flavor, mystery flavor exactly was. Now, a lot of it was always basic stuff. Oh, it's, you know, rainbow candied fruit candy or something like that, and it would be like Skittles. But they're not doing that anymore. Now they are having actual real collabs every Halloween or October. And this coming year already, it's been leaked that it's going to be trolley gummy candy. So, yeah, like it's going to be a cherry and lemon flavor, I think, or something. But there you go. I'm saying there you go a lot. I need to stop that. Here is Coca-Cola Clear Lime. Let's see the expiration date on this. This came out in '07. So, pretty crazy stuff. Coca-Cola Clear Lime. There's also a clear version of Coca-Cola just without the lime, which I'm trying to hunt down a bottle of that. I just have this one, but very cool. You would have never thought that there would be a crystal Coca-Cola, much like crystal Pepsi, but in Japan it existed. So, Scruffy Nerf Herder, have a good night, bro. I know it's getting a little late. I don't blame you. I'm getting a little tired myself. Maybe I'll get another piece of chocolate. Oh, yeah. That'll help. Just an excuse to keep eating candy. Hmm. Yeah, Lance. I mean, I dug the voodoo stuff. I love the any chance I could get. You know, have some weird mystery thing, have something fun to go along with the soda, but now they're just blatantly saying, "Oh, crossover Coca-Cola X Oreo." It was a good flavor, Coca-Cola Oreo, but anyways. Here's Pepsi Wee With You. This is a Mexican Pepsi Blue, but they just call it Pepsi Wee With You. And they were named after these little critters that you see on the side here. And this was released, let me see here, the date. Uh, yeah, 2016, 2015. Yeah, it was like 2015, something like that. Or 2010. I don't know what they're trying to, the date is here. Yeah, it has to be 2016. But yeah, so this was during the holiday season as well. And Pepsi Wee With Chew was, oh wait, 2009. What am I talking about? So this was, yeah, December 2009. I'm looking up here for some reason. Okay. God, it's late, man. So 2009 winter time, this was released. And why it's called Wee With Chew, whatever. You know, why? Well, it was because in Mexico, when people would sing "We Wish You a Merry Christmas," it would kind of be jumbled up and singing it "We Wish You a Merry Christmas." So they thought it was funny, you know, and just went along with the joke. So there is that. And this is a very rare soda to find. I only seen two bottles in existence. I own this one. The other one, Maximus the Fourth, found. He bought it off eBay and drank it, which I was like, oh man, as a collector, I hate seeing rare sodas getting cracked open. But if I were to see anyone review a rare soda, it would have to be Maximus. So it's like it was in good hands, but still, the collector in me is like, oh, painful. But here's Pepsi Wee With You, very rare soda, good to have in the collection. I thought this was just some weird thing. I seen one image of it online back in the day, and I thought it was fake until I finally saw a listing on eBay of one of these, and I was like, yeah, I'm buying that. I got for $15, surprisingly enough. Okay, so next up, this came out just this past summer of 2024. This was Pepsi Lime limited edition. Pepsi Lime's been out before, but I didn't like this. It didn't taste like anything. It just tasted like Pepsi. But they said there was some lime in there. I tried to figure it out. You could watch the review of me trying it, and I'm just like, this sucks. But originally, there was supposed to be a Pepsi watermelon that was coming out, but that got canceled. And in a last ditch effort, they were just like, well, we got to fill it in with something. So they just put out lime with Pepsi Peach that came along out beside it for the summertime. But anyways, Pepsi Lime was released earlier, like 20 years earlier. But yeah, this is just the latest version of it. Okay, so next up we got the Soda Shop, Pepsi Soda Shop release. This is the first Soda Shop release, and this came out during the. It was made with real sugar, and it was supposed to recreate like the old soda fountain days. So Pepsi Black Cherry Soda Shop. There was this one, and then there was the Pepsi Soda Shop Cream Soda. Now I actually liked the cream soda more than the black cherry. I think I was very excited about the black cherry, but it kind of really fell flat. Both of these flavors were just kind of trash. Very hyped up, but the payoff wasn't really there. Now, at least that's what I remember, but it could change. I have never officially reviewed those, and I plan on reviewing them soon. This is Pepsi Salted Caramel. Now, this came out during the holiday season of 2017, and it is exactly what you would think. Pepsi Salted Caramel. Not too big of a jump from just regular soda Pepsi flavor. Has actual salt in it as well. So I got 2 bottles of Pepsi Salted Caramel here. I don't know what that noise was. That was weird. Anyways, next we got an empty bottle of Pepsi Kona, and this was a test market flavor that really really never made it nationally. So it was only available on the East Coast, and the big city was in Philadelphia, I think, but it made its way all the way down to almost South Carolina as well. But yeah, it was basically a coffee flavored cola. Now they're kind of big now, coffee flavored colas and sodas and stuff, but Pepsi kind of innovated their way by making this. And yeah, I never got a full can of it or a bottle of it, but this is mine, little empty bottle. So there's that. Yeah, cherry Pepsi. I mean, wild cherry Pepsi is very sweet, and I will like that occasionally. But when they try to do black cherry Pepsi or like a lot of other cherry Pepsi flavors, it's doesn't go that well. Like, I'll tell you what, the best black cherry soda that you could get is just the cheap stuff at like Aldi. Like I remember back in the day, I forgot what brand it was, like Sweet Valley. I think that's the brand, whatever the generic brand that Aldi has for soda. The Sweet Valley Black Cherry Soda. So refreshing. Oh, it was the best. Their cream soda was good too. Mm. All right, so here is another Pepsi Zero Lemon chicken kind of soda. We talked about this already. Skip that. And working our way up here, I only seen 1 bottle of this ever on eBay. This is Pepsi Carnival, and this is from Japan. Came out in 2007, and it is supposed to be a tropical flavored soda or a Pepsi. It's aluminum can kind of thing with a little screw-on cap bottle, and it's very cool. Like I said, I've only seen 1 bottle of this or can, whatever you want to call this, available, and I'm glad I have it in my collection because I see very few photos on Google about this. So I may make a whole bunch of photos so I could, you know, have more stuff up on Google for people to look at. Because that's why I do this too, because there's a lot of weird soda flavors out there that isn't, they're not covered that well. And if I'm able to get a hold of something and actually go through the history and have like a something about it, so later on in the future someone wants to dig up and find something about it, some info about it, boom, people will know from the videos I make or the photos I've taken, they could get a better knowledge. It's all about sharing, educating in my own special way. I got some candy up here. Here's a Milwix bar that I got from Morocco in 2023 during the summertime when I was there to get married. And I reviewed this when I was in Casablanca. Uh, this was actually a pretty decent thing. And I bought this one with the hopes of trying it again, but I just never got around to it. So this made it all the way across from North Africa back home here, and it's sitting here on the shelf. So this definitely has a nice story to it. Milwix candy bar, gonna keep this sealed forever and ever. And that's that. Thanks, Lance. I try to be cool, dude. I try to do what I can. Educate these kids on these soda pops. Here's a Mr. Beast D's Nuts candy bar. This was discontinued because apparently there is another company that goes by the name of D's Nuts that sells like nuts. So I guess they got a cease and desist. So any Mr. Beast Feastable bars that have peanut butter in it, don't go buy D's Nuts anymore. It's just called peanut butter. It's like in a blue wrapper now. So I bought this with the intention of reviewing it, but after I bought it, I saw the news that these were discontinued. So I'm like, I'm gonna keep this sealed, and I'll just buy another one with the peanut butter and review that instead. So it's a little collector's item. Next up, here is an original release of Pepsi Lime. This was from '05. So there you go, get a good look. I didn't drink this back in the day. I just didn't care about Pepsi Lime. I had Pepsi Twist a few times, but Pepsi Lime was definitely not on my radar. Here is Pepsi Kick. I think I may review one of these bottles actually. My dad brought these back when he was in Cancun, Mexico. So this is a Mexican flavored Pepsi. I think it is zero sugar. I'll have to look into this more, but it has more caffeine in it. That's why it's called caffeine or Pepsi Kick. Nice kick of caffeine. So I got two bottles of that, and then there is this older. Ah, there you go. It has ginseng and caffeine in it. So this older version of Pepsi Kick uh, lets you know exactly what's in it. So Pepsi Kick, pretty cool. Uh, Here is Pepsi Red. This is I'm trying to remember what it was a very spicy, hot ginger flavored Pepsi, and it's red. This came out in Japan in 2006, the summer of 2006, and man, I only found one of these online. Had to buy it. This is a very, very rare soda. Uh, Ugh, nasty. So this is a half drink bottle of Orbits. It has collected some mold on it. This is the one I drank and reviewed a couple years ago, and I couldn't drink the rest of it, so I sealed it off and put it on the shelf. And since then, it's gotten this mold on the top. Ugh. It kind of looks like a galaxy. They always made Orbits look like it was an outer space alien type of drink, so that mold is just adding to it. It looks like a Milky Way galaxy on the top, bro. But this ain't a collector's item anymore, but it's kind of neat. Okay. Now I got two bottles of this. This is Pepsi Electric. And Pepsi Electric came out over in Europe, and this was supposed to be a zero sugar like fruit taste. I don't know what they were trying to do with this, to be quite honest, but it was absolutely trash. It was very disappointing. It doesn't taste like Pepsi Blue, even though it is in the color of Pepsi Blue. But man, was this horrible. They are now selling it in Australia, which I don't know how this is still like having any traction and being released elsewhere, but man, this soda sucks. Let me just set these right here. There we go. All right, next. Ooh. This is Pepsi raspberry flavor, Pepsi zero sugar. I think this is from China, and that's about all there is. All about there for that one there, boy. This one is cool. And surprisingly enough, this actually did taste pretty good. We were just knocking Pepsi for having a crappy black cherry taste, but this is black cherry chocolate gummy flavored Pepsi. Very odd, very weird. This came out during the fall of 2023, and I reviewed this and I loved it. It's surprisingly really good. You wouldn't think so, but yeah, black cherry chocolate gummy flavor, really good stuff. Now here we just got some Pepsi Cola. This is from Japan though, so they have a whole different formula of Pepsi over there. So it will taste different than the Pepsi here. Yet again, here is another Pepsi Japan Cola bottle right there. This is, what is this from? This is from 2021. And here is a Mexican bottle of Pepsi Gold. Now, Pepsi Gold is a ginger flavored Pepsi, but it's not hot like Pepsi Red. It's just Pepsi with ginger in it. Had a little bit of a kick, a little bite to it. And Pepsi Gold, trying to find a full can or bottle of it is near to impossible. Uh, it was also released in Japan as well, next to Pepsi Red, but this is the Mexican version. And I think this is, let me see if there is an expiration date on here. I have to look. I know where this, when this did come out. I have to look in my notes though. It ain't showing it on here. I don't know. I have to look it up, but yeah, I think this was either 2004 or 2006. Okay, so here is Pepsi Blue from Indonesia. Now, this flavor of Pepsi Blue doesn't taste like the Pepsi Blue from the United States. It was more just blue in color and tasted like regular Pepsi with maybe a slight taste of blueberry to it, or berry taste in general, but it was toned down a lot. It was mostly just Pepsi that was colored blue. All right, so Pepsi Halloween Cola. Now, this came out in Japan, and it looks like it's got some fogginess to it. That looks nasty. I wouldn't recommend drinking this. So, this, I take it was a strawberry shortcake flavored Pepsi, or is like a strawberry uh, cola kind of thing. And that's about it. Came out for a limited time in Japan in, I want to say, yeah, Halloween time, obviously, in 2017. So there is that one. Here is another clear Pepsi Zero cut through the chicken that you eat soda. Oh yeah, okay. This was a crazy one. This would go with the noodles that I showed you earlier. Hang on here. Let me get those noodles out. Yeah, this would go with those noodles here. So you eat these with the noodles. This is Pepsi Zero Mint, all the way from Japan. This was released in the summer of 2023. Very weird. You look at this, it almost looks like intestines. Okay. Oh, this is Pepsi Light, which is basically Diet Pepsi. This is from Mexico. Here's my baby. Here's my bundle of joy. Pepsi Twist. Tasted like lemon. This is from the summer of 2003. And it has a little thing. Enter for your chance to play for $1 billion on live TV. So here, the promotion was you look under the cap, win instantly $15 cash, thousands of prizes available, or find a code and go to billionsweeps.com. So I want to see if I could. There is a code underneath there. So this one definitely wasn't a $15 winner. I'm looking at it now. There's a code. I may have to go and look online to see if I could still win that $1 billion. All right, here's Pepsi Zero Sugar Lime. And this is from Malaysia. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah, Malaysia. Here is Pepsi Pineapple from Japan. 2019, this was released. Here is Pepsi Pineapple Mint from Japan as well. I want to say no. Let me change it up. I'm so used to all these flavors being from Japan here. I think this is from Serbia, I think, or let me Budapest. Yeah, Budapest. So, when did this come out? Is there an expiration date? Ah, yes. The summer of 2022 this came out. Pepsi Pineapple Mint. Very weird flavor. It's a zero sugar flavor as well. Ah, another very big gem, a nice cornerstone to the collection. Pepsi Azuki. This is a limited edition Japanese flavor. Came out in 2009. Late 2008, got into 2009. Pepsi Azuki. Let me pull this one out. So, let me. Bum, 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 bum. I forgot I even had that. Okay. So, Pepsi Strong Zero. This is a Japanese flavor that has more caffeine, but it's zero calories. And this was during the Batman versus Superman movie. So here's the Batman label, and here is the Superman label of the Pepsi Strong Zero. And here's another, just your basic Pepsi Strong bottle. So that down there, that down there. Here is a empty bottle of Pepsi Lime Mint. And what was bogus about this is that the eBay seller I bought this from said he couldn't ship it with the liquid in it. So he had to dump it out and just send me the bottle. But at least I have the bottle, but man, that sucks. So this came out during the summertime of 2021. Here is now a discontinued flavor. It's Pepsi Mango. When this first came out, 2019, I think it became a regular thing, or 2020 maybe. But yeah, Pepsi Mango, definitely a great flavor. It's now discontinued. I miss it sorely. Here is a Pepsi Special. There is a lot of different Pepsi Special sodas in Japan. This is a zero sugar one. I'm not sure exactly what version of this is. If you could read Japanese, you could figure it out right there. But here is one version of Pepsi Special. Oh yeah, this is a good one. This is Pepsi uh, Caramel Crunch or something like that. Yeah, Pepsi Caramel Crunch. There we go. There's the pieces of caramel there. And this was a limited edition release. I forget. I think it's from 2021. But there you go. You know me, Lance. I'm always cute. That's what all the ladies say. This is a Chinese version of Pepsi Twist. I think I bought this with the intention of reviewing it, but as we all know now, I just get bogged down making videos and I forget some stuff I buy to review and it just becomes a collector's item. So here's a Pepsi Twist. Still being made in China, I think. Here and there. Here, I will say, yeah, I don't have a Pepsi Kona in the bottle, but here is something even rarer. This is Pepsi Kona or Diet Pepsi Kona, still sealed in the bottle. Very high collector's item right here. There are people offering me things and wanting to trade things for this bottle of Pepsi Kona, but I'm not selling. I am not selling. This is something that is a cornerstone in the collection as well. So, very, very rare. And here's a bottle of Pepsi from Mexico. It's a little smaller, a little rinky-dink bottle. And now we are at the top shelf here. This is another Pepsi Zero Mint. Went over that. Why? Put it right there. Put it right there, boy. Here is Pepsi Paradise Mango, Pepsi Next. So this was like a mid-calorie soda that Pepsi was trying to push and promote during the mid 2000. No, wait, this is the late or early 2010s. This has an expiration date of October 22nd, 2012. And yeah, let's see. Real cola taste, 60% less sugar. And Pepsi, time and time again, always tries to push these mid-calorie sodas. Pepsi Next, and then there was like Pepsi Edge, and all these other ones, and they just keep completely falling on their ass. And they finally stopped. I think Pepsi Next was their final kind of dip their toe into the pool to see if people would take a bite. But it's usually, when it comes to soda drinkers, it's either they want a diet soda or a full sugar. They don't want something in the middle. But they tried with a mango flavor. So this is like the first Pepsi flavor that had mango in it. So there's that. Pepsi Christmas Cola came out in Japan. And this one was supposed to taste like strawberry shortcake. Whipped cream, strawberry, sweet kind of soda. I mean, it is clear, so it's kind of like a Pepsi. It's kind of like a Crystal Pepsi. It's clear, but definitely not the taste. This has a lot of granules in it. Looks pretty nasty, so I wouldn't recommend drinking this either. Um, I do like this one just because it looks like it's fake. Like this shouldn't exist, but it does. Anything in Japan, leave it to Japan to make things that shouldn't or people wouldn't dream of existing. Here is a Pepsi Orange. I think this is the only time that there was an orange flavored Pepsi. So this came out early 2020, limited edition thing. I got so many sodas, bro. Man. And here's a Pepsi Pink. Now, it was a lot pinker back in the day. Now it's just become a clear soda as well. But this also had the taste of like a strawberry shortcake flavor, much like Pepsi Christmas Cola. So this came out in Japan. Let me see the date here. This was early 2015 or late 2014. This was released. There was also another pink cola flavor that came out before this, I think. It had like a strawberry kind of like design on it and everything. Looked pretty cool. Now, this one right here, Pepsi Mont Blanc. I'm saying it completely wrong, but this is like a hazelnut flavor Pepsi, I think, or a chestnut flavor. This was like a holiday themed soda from 2010. So this came out in Japan. Hybrid bottle, that's what they call these. So you see these bottles with the swirl design. They call it a hybrid bottle. Only came out in Japan, the design and everything. So definitely a hard one to find as well, much like the salty watermelon or the blue. All of them. This is one of them as well. Uh, Much like a lot of the other ones, here's another one, Pepsi Shiso. This one is from 2009, so the summer of 2009. It's a green one, Japanese refreshing flavor. That's all they say about it, but pretty cool. Mango Pepsi, Lance, I gotta say, I was hesitant too. I'm like, I don't know. But mango Pepsi, oh man, it's refreshing. It's sweet. It's everything that you would ever desire from a Pepsi. It's a shame. I will say once again, it's a shame. Pepsi Vanilla, one of my favorite Pepsi flavors. This came out. I did a whole history on this thing, and I'm just like blanking out. I think 2002, 2003, Pepsi Vanilla came out, and I absolutely loved it. And yeah, it was like 2002, 2003. It lasted for a few years, and it was discontinued by 2006, I think. And it'd come back sporadically, but since then it's been discontinued. I think you may still be able to find uh, it in like some stores on the East Coast, but that's about it. But here's a full bottle of the original release of Pepsi Vanilla. Set that right there. Oh yeah, so I have a whole bunch of these actually. I think I have I think I have two more bottles somewhere. But here is, let me get a good example. Pepsi Sakura. So this is a cherry blossom flavored Pepsi that came out early in 2016 in Japan, and I bought two or three bottles of Pepsi Sakura from this dude off eBay, very cheap, and he looked like he was a YouTuber. And I emailed him saying, could I just buy all three of them for a discounted price? And he was like, "Oh, cool, yeah, sure." And I asked him about other sodas he may have, and I was like, "I'm a YouTuber. I'm just trying to collect all these sodas, do videos on them, the history on them." And he was like, "Oh, you're in the YouTube game. I remember when I did that." So I guess he was a failed YouTuber. Sad to say, sometimes that happens. And so he had all these on stock, so I bought them from him. So yeah, Pepsi Sakura. Don't know what it tastes like. It was pink in color, but now it has turned a clear, much like a lot of the other ones. But now we will move on. Here's an empty bottle of Pepsi Halloween Cola. Set that right there. And here is a Mexican bottle of Pepsi Fire. Let's see if there is an expiration date, because then I'd be able to it up with the Pepsi um, Ice, and there is not. Womp womp. So we've talked about Pepsi Fire, I think, enough here. It tasted like a Red Hot with Pepsi, and that is about it. Loved it. I loved it when it came out in the U.S. in 2017. Yeah, when it was like this. Pepsi Fire. You could snap this on your Snapchat. I didn't have a Snapchat at the time, but there was a way you could snap this and you could enter to win the brand new Nintendo Switch when it first came out. And yeah, so Pepsi Fire, loved it. Uh, love the Japanese green tea. I guess is Pepsi Shiso the is that a green tea flavor? But yeah, that'd be wild. Mr. Fogey, what's up, dude? I love you too, Kang. Yeah, thanks, dude. I'm just going through some of my stuff. I still got stuff on here that the camera isn't showing, but it's getting pretty late. What time is it even? It's midnight, 12:18 here. So, yeah, I think we'll finish up here. Like I said, I mean, I have so much when I do the full collection video, like when it's really nice and I'm not just doing it live, it's going to be an epic 3 hours of a video. I swear to God, dude. I swear. Oh no, these are leaking. I didn't check these. Oh, you see that, guys? So these are cans that I got when my dad went to Mexico and he came back and smuggled these in. I think this is, yeah, these are Mexican Pepsi cans. And I probably need to drink these just because they'll just go to waste otherwise. So set these aside for a review very soon. Sad to say. But let's move these down here for now. Here's another empty bottle of Pepsi Christmas Cola. Pretty sweet. Here is Pepsi Cream Soda. This came out in Japan. This is more recent release. Yeah, in 2021, late 2021. I got a 4-pack of these. I may need to drink one for a review, maybe. Maybe. We'll see. If there ain't any floaties in this bottle, we just might. But I heard it's pretty good. Just a cream soda, Pepsi. Put that one there. Then we got another empty bottle of Pepsi Christmas Cola. You know what? I may just like get a few of these extra, somewhat rare items and like do giveaways or something for the channel. Because I've never done that where like, hey, like do some kind of fun raffle or I don't know. I figure out something where some of the viewers may win some of these rare pieces as well, like duplicates of stuff that I could feel okay giving away to a lucky winner. So we'll see. Maybe I'll figure something out. Maybe win DJ Glowing Ice's blue Pepsi Blue. Do something like that. All right. Well, let me check the chat. Let me check that. Yeah, it is late. Miss Emma and I were waiting for this stream, and I forgot you were an hour behind me. LOL. Oh, well, I'm here now, guys. What's up, Emma? How you doing? Hopefully you and Chris have a good weekend. You ain't working too much. This is Pepsi Sparkling Christmas flavor from Japan. It's a grape flavored. It's supposed to be like a sparkling grape flavored Pepsi. Pretty cool. Where did I find this? I found this actually on an import site online. I had never found these on eBay or anywhere else, but definitely a very different, unique, and rare soda flavor as well. Here is the first, I guess. We talked about a Pepsi White Cola, but this is just Pepsi White. And this came out in 2009, late, or 2008 actually, holiday of 2008. And this is Pepsi and yogurt flavored soda. So I'm sure it probably has a very natural, original Greek yogurt flavor. You know, the kind of that has that sharp tinge to it, mixed in with Pepsi. Crazy stuff. Oh yeah, so I bought this because I was going to use it in a history of uh, some type of Pepsi flavor, but I didn't. So I just have this. This is Diet Coke with Splenda. Splenda was all the rage back then. No one cares about Splenda anymore. It still exists, but it was all the rage to put Splenda in their diet sodas. There is a Diet Pepsi with Splenda can out there somewhere, but it's very rare. And I'm hoping to buy that at some point. But for the meantime, I found this one on eBay, so I just bought a Coke version, which is Coke. Come on, bro. Ew. But that is that. We've got a Chewbacca from 1977. Why I have this up here, this is a package of Whoppers, and it's sealed. You know, it's not like I took them out. There's only one Whopper in there. Talk about a GIF. Imagine you getting this in your trick-or-treat bag. You'd want to TP the house that gave this to you, for sure. So, I don't know. I just collected it because it was a factory mishap. A little oddball thing. Okay. Move this. Move this. Here is another Pepsi Orange. Set that right there. This is a Pepsi Cinnamon. Yeah, Pepsi Zero Sugar Cinnamon flavor. I think it was something else too. It was cinnamon something. But there is this one. This came out in Japan late 2020. Pretty cool looking. And here, I think this is Chinese. No, Japan. Japan and Joy Cola. So this is Pepsi Midnight. So you're supposed to drink this at midnight, New Year's Eve. What New Year's was this? Yeah, it expires January 1st, 2019. So you better drink it at the stroke of midnight because that's when it does expire. So the design on this is just awesome too with the fireworks and everything. So pretty awesome, yeah. Can I fit anything else on here? There we go. Put that there. And we are down to the final one. And I never watched One Piece. I don't know. Let's see. Mexico Pepsi, purple Pepsi, yes. What did you think? What did I think of the purple Pepsi? I never tried the purple Pepsi. I just have a bottle of it, and that is it. I will show you something that is not on this. I have like a bunch of rare stuff set off to the side because I was going to show it in the video. I'll be right back. Hold up, y'all. Now this is something very rare as well. If I could find it. It's in a smaller bottle because it came from Kuwait, I think. Some country in the Middle East. All right, I'm coming back. Coming through. Make room for Fanny. Set that one there. So this is... I've never seen this anywhere on eBay. The one time I did see it on eBay, I bought it. It's a tiny, itty-bitty little bottle. But this is Pepsi Grape. Believe it or not. It has Arabic on it. If I could find where a country of origin is on here, I will let you know. I like hearing the Arab countries. They just tell you flat out what's going on. And there's a warning label on here. It says, it's in English too. This material may be having a negative effect on activity and concentration in children. So that's pretty cool. But I think this is from Kuwait. I have to do some more research on that. But yeah, I'd never seen this anywhere else. Pepsi Grape. But there you go. This is from 2022. Foshi, why do the bottles get so squished in on themselves? I've been curious about that. Also, Emma says hi back. Hi, Emma. So, Foshi, to answer your question, the Japan bottles get sucked in like this. They get very thin. But, yeah, the regular American bottles that we do have here, I'm going to show you right now. Baby boy. I'm going to show you right now, baby boy. These get sucked in because just over time, the carbonation, the atmosphere, and it just gives way and it just starts sucking in. It's just because of the carbonation and everything else. Over time, it kind of just loses its luster, and that's the whole reason why. So you give anything 2 years, like you can just buy a bottle of Pepsi, you just put it on a shelf and give it 2 years, it'll start shrinking in and getting weird looking. So that's the only reason why. Oh, all right. What? Okay, I'm looking at the live stream here, and let's see. It says there I'm able to do a goal. What is a goal? Like, am I here to like raise money or something? Could I like say, give me $1,000? That's my goal. I want $1,000. I want to buy a PlayStation Series X or S, which I need to because Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out next year. I got to make sure I'm equipped. I got an Xbox One. That's like the biggest system I got right now. So I'm going to have to take that dive soon enough. But, anyways, I know One Piece got big. I'm not an anime fan, so I don't even know what One Piece is all about. But in Japan, they released a Pepsi Nex Zero. Now, I don't know what Nex even is, if it's extra caffeine or whatever it is, but they would come packaged with these One Piece figurines. And you can look on the back here, all the different characters. There's Sagat from Street Fighter. There's a little midget. There's this guy with glasses. There's a dude with blue hair that makes your Starbucks coffee. Here's this kid that's always emo. And then there's this guy that lives in his mom's basement. And he, you know, big fat guy. So there's that. I'm just talking out of my ass right now. But, oh wait, hang on. We got a barking spider around here somewhere. Let's see if there is an expiration date on this one. 2011 is when this One Piece Pepsi Nex Zero came out. So I never had a Pepsi Nex bottle, and I just happened to see this, and it came with the figure, so that's the reason why I wound up with this. So I just didn't have the heart to pull the bottle of it out. Hey yo, so my stream, my video, my phone died. That's what it was. That's what it is. I didn't want to leave you guys hanging, so yeah. Chris is texting me on my phone. Yes, I'm here. Oh my God, I'm sweaty. I look like a hot guy. So yeah, didn't want to abruptly stop, but my phone died. I didn't keep my eye on the battery, so I got it plugged into the charger right now. But I want to leave you with this, the final thing. This is Pepsi Salt and Lychee. Came out in Japan late 2020. I love lychee, so I'm sure this tasted fantastic. Get a nice look at that. Let me see if I get better in the light there. And there you go. Psycho. That is exactly, that's what sums up this stream completely. And that is it, basically. For this live stream, I wanted to just give you a nice rundown of the collection, at least a little bit of it. This isn't everything. There's oh God, a lot more. Jesus. But thank you guys for joining with me, having a good time on this Friday night. Hopefully you're doing well. And I got to shoot a video tonight and for tomorrow, and then Sunday. And they're going to be fun, short, quick little videos, but they're going to be great. One, I will tell you right off the bat, excuse me, I'm auto-tuning a bunch of farts. Chris says he would love a tour and some gameplay of the studio arcade games. I will do that, dude. I did one of the Ninja Turtles a while back, but it was kind of fumbly and stuff. I need to do a better presentation of that. That'd be cool. So maybe I'll do like a vertical version of it or something. That'd be sweet. But that is it for me. I got to film a video, put all these bottles back, and we'll go from there. Thank you guys for joining. Hopefully you have a good rest of your weekend. Hopefully, if you do have to work, just take it easy. Take a bunch of coffee breaks, smoke breaks, poop breaks, whatever you got to do just to get through. And that's it. All right. See you later. DJ Glowing Ice. See you, Chris, and everybody else that's been watching, hanging out. Lance, Michael, all you guys. Shao Kahn, you were in there for a little bit. Sweet dreams, Chris. Hang on, I don't want to leave anybody behind. Emma, have a good night. Hang on, I just don't want to leave you. This is like the Midwestern goodbye. Scruffy Nerf Herder, I think you've already went to bed already. But yeah, just thanks, guys, for hanging out. If you ever wind up in the St. Louis area, let me know. We'll get an Emo's Pizza. Not emo as in, oh, I hate my parents, but emo as in IMO. IMO. So good. I'll tell you that. It's. Alright. Peace out, guys.